Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Mario in Black and today I'll be covering the history of women's hockey at the Olympic Games. To make up for not having a video last week, this one should be a long one. I'll go through each Olympics and highlight 3 players that played in those Olympics. The players I select will be those that have had a great impact on the sport, along with some players that are having an impact in the PWHL to this day. So let's get right to it. I wanted to start with a quick background. Men have been playing hockey at the Olympics since 1920. In 1990, the IIHF Women's World Championships began. In 1992, the International Olympic Committee, or the IOC, approved women's hockey to be included in the Olympics. The approval greenlit the sport be played in the 1998 Olympics in Nagano, Japan. As of 2026, there have been 8 women's hockey tournaments at the Olympics. 18 nations have competed at the Olympics. I have an asterisk next to the 18 because 3 of the nations are Russia, the Olympic athletes from Russia, and the Russian Olympic Committee. They are all teams comprised of athletes from Russia, but they played under 3 different banners due to sanctions on the country by the IOC. Only 4 countries have played in all 8 tournaments, and they're Canada, Finland, Sweden, and the United States. Not so coincidentally, they're 4 of the 5 countries that have won medals in this event. Let's start with the first ever Olympic event, which was in 1998 in Nagano, Japan. 6 countries participated in the inaugural event. There were no qualifications. The 5 World Championship participants from the previous year, along with the host country of Japan, played in the tournament. All countries played 5 games total in the prelims against the other nations. The top 2 advanced to the gold medal game, and the next 2 advanced to the bronze medal game. The U.S. defeated a favored Canadian side to capture their first Olympic gold. Finland defeated China to win the bronze. Petra Varakallio scored the first ever Olympic goal for Finland in their opening game against Sweden. Riikka Nieminen of Finland as well had the most points with 12. Danielle Goyette had 8 goals for the Canadians, leading all players. Sarah Teeting of the U.S. had the tournament's best save percentage for qualified goalies at .938. For the 3 highlighted players, I want to start with Cammi Granato, the U.S. captain for the first Olympics. She had 18 points over her 2 Olympics. The IIHF put her in their Hall of Fame in 2008. Granato is a legend of the sport and was one of the first 2 women inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2010. Canadian Manon Rhéaume has an interesting story as well. She only played in the 1 Olympics, but she's probably best known for her stint with the NHL's Tampa Bay Lightning during the preseason. She's the first woman to ever suit up for a pro men's team in North American pro sports. She's now part of the PWHL, taking up GM duties for the new team in Detroit. Finland's Riikka Nieminen has been in the Olympics 4 times, but she took a 10-year break playing hockey from 2003 to 2013. Her bronze medal wins in 1998 and 2018 are the largest gap between 2 medals in women's hockey at the Olympics. She was 44 years old when she played in 2018. In 2022, she was named to the Hockey Hall of Fame as the first non-North American woman. Now let's move on to the 2002 Olympics, which were held in Salt Lake City in the U.S. state of Utah. 8 countries participated in these Olympics, with there being a qualification tournament between 4 countries beforehand for the last 2 spots. Kazakhstan and Germany beat out Switzerland and Japan to secure the last 2 spots. This time there were 2 groups of 4 teams, and the top 2 teams in each group would advance to the semifinals. Canada got their revenge and beat the U.S. on their own soil, 3-2 in the gold medal game. Sweden picked up their first medal, beating rival Finland 2-1 for bronze. Canada's Hayley Wickenheiser had the most points with 17. This would be the Olympic record for points that would stand until 2022. Cherie Piper and Jillian Apps, both of Canada, led the way with 7 goals each. The Canada accolades continue with Charlene Labonte having the top save percentage at .976. Wickenheiser was the Olympic MVP the first time this award had been given out. You heard Haley Wickenheiser's name a few times. She's a legend of the game. While I'm personally not interested in greatest of all time debates, she is certainly in the pantheon of the best to ever do it. Her 51 points in the Olympics is a record. She has 4 gold and 1 silver in the Olympics, and she even played softball in the 2000 Summer Olympics. She was MVP of the Olympics twice and a 2019 member of the Hockey Hall of Fame. This blurb doesn't do her career justice. Just know that she's a certified legend, and if you want to know more about her, look her up. She's one of the absolute best to ever do it in any sport ever. Kim Martin Hassan was an Olympian for Sweden on 4 different occasions. She backstopped Sweden to their first medal in 2002. She'd be the goalie for their dream run and to get to the final in 2006 and would be the best goalie in those Olympics. Jana Hefford is a 4-time Olympic champion to go with a silver medal. She's better known for her post-playing career, where she was interim commissioner of the PWHL, a league that named their MVP trophy after her. She then led the PWHPA after the CWHL folded. Now she's the executive vice president of hockey operations at the PWHL, and she's one of the big public-facing leaders of the league. Olympic women's hockey took their first trip to Europe with the 2006 Games in Torino, Italy. Once again, 8 countries participated, with Russia, Germany, and Switzerland getting in via qualification tournaments to go with the top 4 ranked nations and the host country of Italy. The format was the same as last time, with 2 groups of 4 teams and the top 2 teams advancing to the semis. Canada defeated the surprise team of the tournament, Sweden, in the gold medal game. Sweden knocked off the U.S. in the semifinal in the shootout. This is the only time a team other than the U.S. or Canada have appeared in an Olympic women's hockey final so far as of 2026. The U.S. would rebound from the semifinal upset and defeat Finland in the bronze medal game. Haley Wickenheiser, Cami Granato, and Danielle Goyette all had 10 points to lead all scorers. Wickenheiser, along with the U.S.'s Natalie Darwitz, led the way with 7 goals. Sarah Teeting had a .950 save percentage to lead all goalies. Once again, Wickenheiser was the Olympic MVP. To date, she's the only 2-time winner of the Olympic MVP. Starting off with the spotlight, I wanted to talk about Carla McLeod of Canada. She won 2 Olympic golds in 2006 and 2010, and she parlayed that into becoming a head coach. She's currently the head coach of the Ottawa Charge of the PWHL. She's guided Ottawa to back-to-back final appearances, despite being underdogs each time. She was also the head coach of Czechia and led the country to their first 2 women's hockey medals, with a pair of bronze medals at the World Championships. The best defender of the 2006 tournament was Angela Ruggiero of the U.S. She was on the U.S. gold medal team of 1998 and won 3 more silver medals as well. She won the Patty Kazmaier Award as a top player in college hockey in 2004. In 2015, she was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Last, I want to touch on Maria Ruth, who was instrumental for Sweden in their run to silver. She scored both goals against the U.S. in the semifinals to erase a 2-0 deficit, and she also scored the shootout game winner. She also had an assist on Sweden's lone goal in the gold medal game. Her accolades went beyond the Olympics, as she was a 2015 inductee into the IIHF Hall of Fame. Her number is the only women's hockey number retired by Minnesota Duluth. Canada got their turn to host in 2010, as Vancouver, British Columbia was the site for these Olympics. 8 nations once again participated. It was the same format as before, with 4 teams and 2 groups, and the top 2 in each group advancing to the semis. Canada protected their home soil with a 2-0 win over the U.S. in the gold medal game. Finland picked up their second bronze medal with a 3-2 win in overtime against Sweden. Megan Augusta was the points leader with 15 points. Augusta, along with Stephanie Marty of Switzerland, led the way with 9 goals each. Both are a single Olympics record. Shannon Sabados of Canada had a stunning .980 save percentage. She led in 1 goal on 51 shots during the tournament. Megan Augusta, with her high scoring, was the Olympic MVP. 2 players made their debuts in these Olympics, and they're still going at it today. The first is Marie-Philippe Poulin. Like Wickenheiser, she's in the pantheon of legends. This blurb doesn't do her justice. At 18, she won her first gold in Vancouver, and she's currently the captain of the Canadian national team as of the 2026 Olympics. She's in the PWHL as the Montreal Victoires captain. She's an MVP of the PWHL, and she's also the most recent playoff MVP of the PWHL. Her list of accolades is a mile long. She even scored the game-winning goal in 3 Olympic gold medal games. The other debuting player is Hilary Knight, who's the face of U.S. hockey and has been their captain for a while. Like Poulin, she's a 5-time Olympian, and the two have been great rivals on the international scene for over a decade and a half now. Knight is the first PWHL player to captain 2 teams, with her leading Boston before going to Seattle. She's with Detroit now and will probably end up the captain there as well. Megan Augusta was the MVP of the 2010 Olympics. She was on 4 Olympic teams and won 3 gold medals. She was also an MVP in the CWHL as well. The 2014 Olympics were in Sochi, Russia. Once again, 8 nations participated. As before, there were 2 groups of 4 teams, but the format was a bit different. Everyone in Group A were the high-ranking teams and all advanced to the knockout rounds, with the top 2 getting a direct trip to the semifinals, and the bottom 2 of Group A playing the top 2 of Group B in the quarterfinals. Canada won their 4th straight Olympic gold with a thrilling 3-2 overtime win over the U.S. The U.S. had a lead late and hit the post on an empty net that could have sealed it. I don't need to tell you who scored the tying and winning goals. I bet you already knew it was Poulin. This is where the moniker Captain Clutch really came through for her. Switzerland won their first medal with a 4-3 win over Sweden. Michelle Karvinen of Finland and Pernilla Winberg of Sweden had 7 points, which led the way for all scorers. Karvinen also had 5 goals to lead everyone. Shannon Sabatos once again had the best save percentage with a modest .954 compared to her otherworldly number that she put up in 2010. Florence Schelling of Switzerland is the first and thus far only non-US or Canadian to be Olympic MVP, as she was the goalie for the Swiss during their improbable run to bronze. One thing I want to note is Russia was later disqualified after multiple players tested positive for doping. This was part of a larger investigation into the country and would lead to Russia not being able to fly under their own flag in future Olympics. In 2018, they were the Olympic athletes from Russia, and in 2022, they were the Russian Olympic Committee. They were not able to fly under the standard Russian flag for those Olympics. They also did not participate in 2026 after being banned from participating due to the Ukrainian war. This was the last Olympics for 2 legends, one from Canada and one from the US. First up is Caroline Ouellette, who played in 4 Olympics and won 4 gold medals. She's a member of the Hockey Hall of Fame as of 2023 and is currently an assistant coach on the Montreal Victoires. Julie Chu won 3 silvers and a bronze for the U.S. in the same time span. Chu also won a pair of Clarkson Cups in the CWHL to go for Patty Kazmaier Award in 2007. She's currently the head coach of the Concordia Stingers in youth sports, where she's led them to 2 tournament titles. Ouellette and Chu would end up married after their playing careers ended, and they would coach together for several years as they started a family. The Olympic MVP was Florence Schelling, who partook in 4 Olympics. She has a very interesting distinction of being the first woman to be a general manager for a men's pro sports team in the world. She was the general manager for SC Bern in the Swiss Hockey League in 2020. The Olympics returned to Asia with Pyeongchang, South Korea hosting in 2018. 8 countries once again participated. Something to note is South Korea and North Korea were part of a unified Korea team during these Olympics. The same format as the 2014 Olympics occurred for these games as well. The U.S. finally got one back on Canada, defeating them in a thrilling 3-2 gold medal game that came down to the shootout. The U.S. came back in the 3rd period to tie the game before ousting Canada in the first extra round of the shootout. Finland defeated the Olympic athletes from Russia in the bronze medal game to get back on the podium. Alina Mueller of Switzerland had 10 points to lead everyone. She also had 7 goals to lead that category as well. Shannon Sabatos had her 3rd straight Olympics with the best save percentage at .949. Melody Daoust was named Olympic MVP. Alina Mueller is a 4-time Olympian, with her first Olympics coming as a 15-year-old in 2014 where she won bronze. She's the all-time Swiss leading scorer at the Olympics with 29 points. She's currently in the PWHL where she was on the all-rookie team in 2024 and is now with the new team in Hamilton. Melody Daoust was the Olympic MVP in 2018. Her career lasted long enough that she got to play for Montreal in the PWHL's inaugural season. I figured I had to highlight Shannon Sabatos. The only 3 Olympics she played in were the ones where she led the tournament in save percentage. In 2018, she was named the best goalie of the Olympics, and over her 9 games at the Olympics, she had 4 total shutouts. And she had 2 gold medals and 1 silver in her 3 Olympics. The 2022 Olympics in Beijing were impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and were played in empty arenas. Despite the obstacle, 10 nations participated in these Olympics as the Games expanded their scope. This time there were 5 teams and 2 groups. All the top-ranked teams were in Group A and advanced to the quarterfinals, along with the top 3 teams in Group B. Canada got the U.S. back with a 3-2 win for the gold medal. Finland won their 4th bronze with a 4-0 shutout win over Switzerland. Sarah Nurse set the new Olympic record with 18 points. Brianne Jenner had 9 goals to lead everyone. Zhao Jiaying of China had a .955 save percentage to top all goalies. Brianne Jenner was named the Olympic MVP. Brianne Jenner has been to the last 4 Olympics for Canada, winning a pair of gold and silver medals each. Jenner won 2 Clarkson Cups in the CWHL. She was the captain for the Ottawa Charge her first 3 years in the PWHL before she moved to play for one of the new expansion teams in Hamilton. Klara Peshlarova of Czechia was named the best goalie at these Olympics. She's been a champion 3 times at the club level. She even had a brief stint with the Boston Fleet in the PWHL. She currently plays in the SDHL in Sweden. Sarah Nurse, as mentioned, set the Olympic record for points. That accounts for almost all her points in her Olympics so far. She's currently on the Vancouver Golden Knights of the PWHL and is one of the faces of the team. Finally, we have the Olympics played earlier this year, the 2026 Olympics in Milano Cortina. These were the first Olympics to be held after the PWHL formed. Like 2022, 10 countries participated, and the format was the same as 2022 as well. The U.S. defeated Canada in one of the all-time great games with a 2-1 overtime win on an amazing play by Megan Keller. It's a goal I believe will go down as one of the greatest in the history of the sport. Switzerland and Sweden played a thrilling bronze medal game as well, with Alina Mueller scoring the winning goal in overtime. 2 defenders led the Olympics in points. Megan Keller and Caroline, or better known as KK Harvey, of the U.S. each had 9 points. Hannah Bilka, Thea Johansson, and Alina Mueller had 4 goals to lead that category. Erin Frankel had a .980 save percentage, which tied the Olympic record. She let in 2 goals on 98 shots and picked up 3 shutouts in what is probably one of the best overall performances by a goalie in any Olympics. KK Harvey was named the Olympic MVP. Let's start with KK Harvey. She scored all 9 of her points in the 2026 Olympics on her MVP run. She would be named IIHF Player of the Year in 2026 and get drafted first overall by the Vancouver Golden Knights. Megan Keller scored the game-winning goal to get her 2nd gold medal in 3 Olympics. She's been a dominant force in the PWHL as well, winning the most recent Defender of the Year award as captain of the Boston Fleet. Andrea Brandley is another 2026 PWHL draft pick, this time by Detroit. She was the best goalie in the Swedish League in 2025 before being named best goalie in the Olympics in 2026. She gave up 8 goals on 169 shots, which is above and beyond amazing. Rounding things out, here's the medal table along with all the countries that have participated in the Olympics. You can see the US and Canada have won medals at all 8 tournaments, with Canada holding the gold medal edge. Sweden is the only other country to crack into the top two of that stellar 2006 run. The top four nations on the table were in all 8 Olympics. Switzerland has a pair of bronze medals despite not qualifying for the first 2 Olympics in 1998 and 2002. The other participating nations are on the right. For those of you that are not good at country flags, I'll go top down, left to right for all of these. So starting top down on the left column, China, Czechia, Denmark, France, Germany, and Italy. Then going to the next column, Japan, Kazakhstan, the unified Korea team, Russia, and Slovakia. And then the last 2 are the Olympic athletes from Russia and the Russia Olympic Committee. Those are the flags they flew under because they couldn't fly under the Russian flag due to the sanctions I mentioned earlier. That's it for today's video. I've been itching to do this one for a while. The Olympics are pretty much the highest visibility event of any of the women's hockey events in the world, including all the club leagues and all that. The PWHL has started out strong and looks to be a league that will thrive, but the Olympics are still the Olympics and all that comes with that. But I'm glad you watched this video. If you have any feedback, leave it below. If you have any video ideas, leave it below. Hoping to get a couple more leagues on board with these as I go forward and kind of mix up this channel a little bit. But any idea you have, I'll probably do it just because, you only get so many ideas and I really want to listen to your feedback and do videos based on what you guys want to see. But next week I'll probably do a video on the 3 stars and the history of that, which will be a bit of a shorter video. So hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you very much. Leave any feedback you have, and I hope you have a great day.